Hello, everybody. So, my name is Nadezhda Nikitenko, and I will be sharing some teaching tips that I have picked up along the way of different observations that I've done and just personal experience. And so these are some things that I think are one of the most important teaching tips, and I would just like to talk about them in this presentation. So, the first one is the Golden Rule, and it's found in the Bible. So, whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. I think this is important in teaching because what you want your children to become or how you want them to treat you is how you have to treat them. Um, for example, like in the field experience that I have done, um, the way that the different teachers that I've seen, the way that they treat their students is the feedback that they receive. And um, like I put in this slide, behaviorism focuses on the idea that all behaviors are learned through interaction with the environment. So whatever the student learns from the teacher or from the environment that they're put in is the behavior that they're going to express. And I added this picture of these affirmations um, on the mirror, uh, because I think it is important for a teacher to show the student that they are important and that they're wonderful. And whenever a teacher points this out, then the student becomes that, as is seen in a concept called self fulfilling prophecy in sociology. How you treat somebody is what they're going to become. So that is the golden rule. The next one is do what is in the student's best interest. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others. I think this is important, and why I put this in is because the profession of teaching is not a selfish profession. And if somebody is a selfish person, they can't really go into this profession. They're not going to be a good fit to teach the students, you know, um, and they have to sacrifice so much of their time and effort and for the students in order for the students to receive something, um, to receive this knowledge that you're trying to impart. And so it is important to do what is in the interest of the students. And something interesting that I found is this humanism learning theory, uh, which is about the student's self actualization. And uh, as you can see, this pyramid of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, first, in this case, the student needs their physiological needs need to be met, then their safety needs, then they need to feel like they are loved and that they belong in the classroom. Then they need their self esteem to be raised up in order for them to become self actualized and in order to reach the highest level that they can in education and truly become who they are meant to be. So, uh, this is important. This is what facilitates this, the best type of learning for a student that could happen is whenever the teacher provides um, all the needs or meets the needs of the student. And of course, the teacher can't do it on their own. Um, they have to work with a team of people, such as counselors and other school members. But this is just part of the process. The next one is listen more than teach, and this is important. And I was listening to a TED talk about how a teacher is really um, is really learning more about the students and just uh, like how to approach the students, how to talk to them, and how to teach them the best way. Um, and the teacher is probably doing that more than actually teaching because each student has a different approach to them. And to find that approach is going to be really helpful in a classroom. And this Bible verse that I included, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And even though, teaching is, requires a lot of speaking, but if there is not enough listening done to the students, what they need, um, what they find important, or what their learning style is, or different things like that, then the speech kind of becomes less important and less valuable because it is not based on research of the students. So that's why it is important to be quick to listen, so to speak, and slow to become angry. Um, and I like how this Bible verse includes that it is important to be slow to become angry because there are many different situations that a student is in that we don't know about, and uh, if a teacher finds out about these situations, then their anger is going to dissipate at a student who's acting out for certain reasons. For example, in my field experience, whenever I go observe the classroom, there are some students there that act out and that, really are attention seekers. And, it's really easy to look at them and be like, what are you doing? Like, you need to, I don't know, I'm just going to send you to the office and just not deal with them. But then whenever you look at their family situation, of these specific students, then it becomes very clear what is happening there and why the students are acting up, and the teacher begins to develop compassion. And there are definitely a few students that I have observed that are like that. Um, a student growing up in a healthy environment is not going to act in an unhealthy way most of the time, at least. Um, so that is where the connectivism theory comes in play. It's where students learn best when they form meaningful connections with each other or with the learning that they need to do. If they connect with the material that they're learning or the roles that they need to do, um, on top of connecting with the students around them and with the teacher. Uh, Students really thrive in that kind of environment when they feel valued and respected, and they feel safe with their peers in that they're with in a classroom. And so that is why this is very important. And I mean, I have seen this um, work all the time. I am a private piano teacher, and this is extremely important, especially in a one-on-one setting. And it's easier to form these relationships and connect with the students in a one-on-one setting. But this is still something that is important to try to cultivate in a classroom. Of course, there has to be like professionalism, but it is extremely important to connect with the students. The next one is a next tip is be careful what you say. So the Bible verse that I included here is, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So, as mentioned before, teachers do a lot of talking. Um, they need to do less talking than listening, but they still do a lot of talking and teaching and, interacting with students. And it is so important to watch what we as teachers say, or future teachers say, because students, they remember everything really well, and they will remind you whenever they, if you're not consistent with what you say. um, and I was looking through different research, and um, um, an example of having good speech is, so students, if they have self efficacy, this belief in themselves that that they are capable, that they can do this, then it will greatly change their behavior in a classroom. A lot of times students behaviors, maybe all the time, not just a lot of times, student behavior stems from their self-esteem, uh, which goes back to the need for them for that um, to be met, and for that to be in a healthy level for them to self actualize themselves, as in previous slides. But in order, once they believe them in themselves, then they will be um, unstoppable, really. And it is the teacher's job to provide this kind of environment of positivity, um, to help them believe in themselves. Um, Another thing that a teacher can do is also use words and uh, for positive reinforcement. You know, you did such a great job, or keep up the good work. But obviously be genuine when you say it. Um, and uh, the way a teacher presents words are so important, is so important. And also, in my observation, the way uh, the teacher says something. For example, I've observed choir classes, and the way that the teacher phrases certain things is the way, um, it will directly reflect on the sound that she's going to receive from that choir class. Um, if she says it positively and kindly, and you know in a great tone, even, then the sound is going to reflect that. And so these are all just examples, but obviously, you uh, a way to control your words, or make sure you're saying the right things, is to teach correctly, to teach the truth. Be prepared, basically, in what you're saying, and don't wing it, and don't teach what you don't know, because that's not going to benefit those who listen. So, um and I included this picture of think positive, talk positive, feel positive. Like, all these things are intertwined with each other, in order to help the students learn, and not only just learn, but to just become better versions of themselves. And we as teachers, we have that power to in students' lives. So these are the 4 tips, and thank you so much for listening. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever you will be doing, and great rest of the semester. And yeah, thank you so much.